afternoon. Welcome to this week's episode of the Martinez Love Legal Lounge. Thank you all so much for joining us today. I am Kristen Martinez. I am one of the owners of our firm Martinez Love, and I host weekly episodes of the Martinez Love Legal Lounge every single Monday at 12 o'clock right here on Facebook Live. It's intended to be an informal, no-pressure forum for you all to ask me questions. Let's chat about hot topics, figure out what's going on in the market, and for me to give you information on how to protect yourselves as well as your clients as you navigate through the crazy real estate market that we're in right now. So if you are joining us this afternoon, make sure to say hello in the comments. I would love to say hi and personally acknowledge you. Also, if you have questions that you would like me to answer, please go ahead and put those in the comments for me. I will be getting to those questions momentarily, as well as addressing some of the questions that have been submitted to me over the past week. A little bit about myself. I've been a real estate attorney for a little bit over 10 years. What I do is a little bit different from the typical real estate attorney that you might come across. I don't do any title work. So I'm not an attorney that owns a title company that does a little bit of real estate law on the side. 100% of my practice is real estate law that encompasses both transactional work, which would be drafting contracts, preparing leases, setting up trusts, working with clients and investors to protect their assets. And the other side of that involves litigation work. So of course the goal and the purpose is to avoid having to deal with any sort of disputes or eventually litigation. And so that's where, number one, the education that I'm providing comes in, and number two, that's where our transactional work comes in. So we would love to work with clients on the front end, drafting contracts and documents that are going to protect them and hopefully avoid disputes and litigation down the road. So when I started the firm, one of my goals was to create a forum to be able to educate the public and specifically real estate professionals to keep you out of the litigation process. It's not fun for anybody. There is, a joke that the only people or the only parties who benefit from litigation are the lawyers, and I put that in air quotes because it's not a joke, it's true. The lawyers get paid no matter what. Usually it's not a great experience for either party, even for the party that wins at the end of the day. So take advantage of these. Send me questions throughout the week. I will address them here. Feel free to go ahead and post questions in the comments as well, and I will answer those live in just a few minutes. A couple of announcements I announced last week. We are officially on TikTok now. Our handle is at Martinez Love Law. We are having a lot of fun over there, being silly, doing a little bit of dancing, and posting content that is only available on our TikTok page. So make sure to check us out there. As you also know, we are moving offices hopefully very shortly, and we are looking to sublease out our current office in Wesley Chapel. So if you know of anybody who may be interested in that, please have them reach out to me directly. Finally, we have our monthly Get Real with Attorney Martinez event happening this Wednesday, September 1st at 10:30 a.m. We have a Zoom option. We also have an in-person option, which I'm super excited about. So the topic I will be discussing at this month's event is called Deconstructing the Florida Land Trust. I get questions, I won't say daily, but definitely weekly, on land trusts as well as how should I be titling my property? How should I hold my property to best protect myself? My answer to that is 9 times out of 10, a Florida land trust. So I would love to see you on Wednesday. We're going to dissect the land trust, talk about how it works, talk about the benefits of land trusts, as well as some practical considerations. So it's going to be a great topic for you. You can DM us for the link to register for that, or you can go to Eventbrite and register directly there. So again, if you are here this afternoon, number one, thank you. Number two, go ahead and say hello in the comments, as well as post any questions that you may have for me to answer live. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and address, I only received one question over the week to address here today at the Legal Lounge, so I will address that. But first, I posted, I believe it was yesterday, a series of stories on both Instagram and Facebook asking for feedback from you all as far as what you look for or what your top priority is when choosing to hire an attorney. Here at Martinez Love, we're always trying to improve ourselves, make ourselves better, and so I want to know what's important to you all. If you did not already submit an answer, you can go ahead and put those in the comments, or you can message me privately. But I just saw a Florida Bar article this morning, there are 91,000 lawyers currently licensed to practice in the state of Florida. And so we are always looking for ways to serve you better and to set ourselves apart. I will tell you that the majority of the answers that we got through both Facebook and Instagram are expertise, Avo and Google ratings, attorneys who return phone calls, attorney trustworthiness, and price. So that is all very helpful feedback. If you wouldn't mind sharing what you look for or what is most important to you in hiring an attorney, we would greatly appreciate that, and we will absolutely use that in implementing better systems and training for our staff to make sure we are meeting your needs. So with that, I am going to go ahead and jump into our first question that I received, and I actually get this question a lot, so I'm glad that it was posed to me at the end of last week. And the question is, what are the best ways to avoid the probate process when it comes to real estate? That could either be your primary home or investment property. So probate is a process that occurs after somebody passes away, and it is a way for the court to disperse that person's assets among the heirs. Typically, well, I wouldn't say typically, but sometimes that includes a will. So if a person has a will, the probate court will take that will, and if there are no objections to the will disperse the deceased's assets in accordance with the terms of that will. If there is no will, that is a whole separate process within the probate court that the judge will have to determine how to disperse those assets. But the reasons why people maybe want to avoid that process sometimes is, number one, is it can take a very long time, depending on the size of the estate and how many assets and whether there's a will or not, whether there are heirs contesting the will or not. All of those things can cause the probate process to take a very long time. So what that means is in the interim, the estate of the deceased person owns their real estate. The heirs that are going to inherit or receive that real estate don't own it quite yet, so they can't benefit from it, they can't sell it, they can't generate any income from it. So the other reason why folks may want to avoid the probate process is it's very expensive. So why go through that process if you can set things up during your lifetime that will avoid that for your heirs and beneficiaries down the road? When it comes to real estate, I do not recommend adding your children or your adult children or your aunt or niece or whoever it may be that you want to inherit your property. I do not recommend adding them to the deed of your property. The reason for that is, number one, unless they are paying you for 1/2 of the value of the property, which they're generally not in this type of situation, that is a very large gift that you are making to that person, and you may have tax consequences when it comes to gifting that amount of value. Also, the person that you are adding to the deed or to the title of your property, all of their creditors or future creditors can now attach to your property and potentially foreclose on it. So let's say you add one of your adult children to your property because you want them to inherit it when you pass. If that child gets in a car accident and is sued and there's a judgment against that person, that judgment could attach to your property. We want to avoid that. So one option that I recommend a lot, I think it works really well, is to utilize what's called a ladybird deed. The more legal term for it is called an enhanced life estate deed. This is a great way to avoid probate, and how they work is you will list the people or person in your enhanced life estate deed that you want to inherit the property upon your death. There is no transfer at the time that that deed is signed and recorded. So the original owner, you in this example, still has full control over the property during your lifetime. Additionally, if you are receiving any sort of Medicaid benefits or other government benefits, the enhanced life estate deed is not going to interfere with your eligibility for those types of benefits. Sometimes if you gift large amounts of money or property, you are not eligible, or you could lose eligibility for certain type of government benefits. So it works around that problem, and it also allows the original owner to sell the property during their life, to change their mind, remove this potential heir off of the deed, rent the property, do whatever they want with the property, retain full control of that property during their life. The way an enhanced life estate deed works is upon the original owner's death, once their death certificate is recorded in the county where the property is located, title then transfers to the person named in the enhanced life estate deed. So you avoid the probate process. It is an automatic transfer of title. There's no additional deed that needs to be signed. And it allows that person to inherit and receive the property almost immediately upon the original owner's death, without having to go through the expense and stress and time of the probate process. So with the Ladybird deed or the enhanced life estate deed, it enables the original owner to retain control. It does not affect any sort of government benefits or eligibility for those benefits. It allows the person to change their mind during their lifetime, but it also allows the heir to inherit that property and receive title to that property almost immediately after their death. So that is a great option. That is a great alternative to just adding somebody to your deed if you want to accomplish the goal of avoiding the probate process. So if you have any questions about that or want to discuss it any further, please let me know. I would love to discuss that with you. There are many other options you can use. The Florida Land Trust is an excellent option. I will be covering that in our Get Real with Attorney Martinez event on Wednesday, so I'm not going to delve into that topic now, but let me know, give us a call, set up a time to talk with one of our attorneys. We would be happy to go through all of the options and figure out which would best suit your needs and accomplish your goals. Again, if you have questions, please go ahead and put them in the comments. I will address them live. I will take this time very quickly now to just remind you that all of these Legal Lounge episodes, as well as our Get Real events and any other video content that we produce as a firm, is posted to our YouTube channel. So if you want to hear about land trust but you're not able to attend on Wednesday, give us about a week, check our YouTube channel. All of the content will be posted there so that you can view it or rewatch it if you are particularly interested in one of the subjects that I've covered. So not seeing any questions in the comments. Again, thank you all for attending. I am always available to receive your questions throughout the week, and I will save them and address them at the following week's Legal Lounge. We just had a question pop in from Deborah. Thank you so much. She says, please explain a quitclaim deed. So we prepare a lot of quitclaim deeds. Title companies typically are not going to prepare those, and so an attorney oftentimes is required. Can you find a quitclaim deed on the internet and prepare it yourself? Yes. However, that is not recommended. It is very dangerous, because when we're talking about real property and we are talking about legal descriptions and legal documentation describing that property, if you get one word wrong or one number wrong, you could be transferring a totally different property than you're intending to transfer. And I've seen that happen. So quitclaim deeds are a type of deed that transfers title to property without any sort of warranty or guarantee as to that title being clear or clean, or even that the person that's deeding the property owns the full property. A quitclaim deed is a person transferring their interest in the property to somebody else. That could be 100% interest, that could be a 20% interest. That interest could have liens and mortgages attached to it. The recipient is not guaranteed or being provided with a warranty that the title that they're receiving is clean or legitimate. When you close on a typical purchase and you go through a title company, they're performing that title search. They're figuring out what liens need to be satisfied, what judgments may attach to this property, they are making sure that that title is clean before that deed is signed. With a quitclaim deed, you don't have that process and you don't have that guarantee. So typically when quitclaim deeds are used is when property is being transferred between either family members or people who know each other very well. It could be when you are gifting property to somebody else, so there's no purchase price or exchange of money involved in the transaction. That is typically when quitclaim deeds are used. Quitclaim deeds are not recommended when it is an arm's length transaction. So when you're purchasing property from a stranger or from a non-family member, they are not recommended at that in that sort of circumstance. So Deborah, thank you so much for the question. It was a great one. If there are any other questions regarding deeds or quitclaim deeds in particular, please let me know. Charmaine, thank you so much for your comment and question. Again, the Get Real with Attorney Martinez event is scheduled for this Wednesday, September 1st at 10:30. There's both a Zoom option and an in-person option. I would love to see you all in person, so I highly recommend you choose that option. But either way, the link is available on Eventbrite, or you can send us a private message and we will send you that link directly so that you can register for that. Okay, and finally, our YouTube channel. Thank you, Veronica, for mentioning that. I should have mentioned that before, but our YouTube channel is Martinez Love. That information is there in the comments for you as well. So if you just search us on YouTube, it should pop right up. Not seeing any other questions, I again want to thank you all for attending. Thank you for the questions. We will not be having a legal lounge next Monday. It is Labor Day, so we will see you on Monday, September 13th. Right here at 12 o'clock on Facebook Live. In the meantime, if you could like and share this video, that would be greatly appreciated. Have a great rest of your day and rest of your week. I will see you soon.